Man, the Royal Rumble. It's been a week since the Royal Rumble, and I have to say this straight up. Nothing's changed. Wrestling is still trying to find its groove right now.
Which, I mean, I still don't think it was necessarily that bad. But man, the universe has royally been shitting on this Royal Rumble.
The final four people in the Royal Rumble this year were Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Gunther, and Logan Paul. Why? Then Roman Reigns, a part-time guy who's wrestled less than like 20 matches in the past 2 years, shows up and wins the Royal Rumble. I mean, I guess, man.
If you want to talk about politics and wrestling, you want to talk about how people manipulate their way to get to what they want, let's talk about Roman Reigns. He might be the modern day Hulk Hogan because this man literally went on Pat McAfee and said, nobody's good.
Like you said, the audience from the last episode.
Roman winning is lazy. There are so many other people that could have won this Rumble. LA Knight, even Cody Rhodes could have won it, and there could have been something.
You know,
which is I do believe the main issue with the Rumble, and then the proceedings of why this week of wrestling, and interestingly enough, throughout all of wrestling this week, has just been largely boring as hell.
Welcome to another episode of the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. It's your host who likes to post, the Mazaku.
And it's your boy, Swag Switcher in the building.
And man, the Royal Rumble. It's been a week since the Royal Rumble, and I have to say this straight up. Nothing's changed. Wrestling is still trying to find its groove right now.
Fam, it's funny. I almost feel as if we had the experience of the difference between watching a show live and watching a show on TV, even with the fact that how we saw the Royal Rumble. Because we were not at Saudi Arabia when we watched the Royal Rumble.
No.
But as y'all saw, we was at Dave & Buster's, and we was in a room filled with other wrestling fans watching the Royal. It was a Royal Rumble watch party, and we had Michin and goddamn
KO. And KO made a funny joke after Sami Zayn's match. He said, "Hey guys, I'm heading out. I'm gonna go join the Royal Rumble." We're like, ha 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 ha.
He didn't make it. I guess
it's apparently number 30. He couldn't make it in time, so they put Gunther in.
Damn, that's crazy.
And said, KO, are you gonna get here close? No, my rocket is not setting off to get there.
That's tough. Damn, so instead they throw Gunther, even though we had goddamn
Kit Wilson, which would have been better. That would have been up.
Comparably speaking, just for an excitement point of view, Kit Wilson would have been fun.
Yes.
It would have easily been fun. However, there is a part of me that feels as if because they're in Saudi Arabia, it wasn't going to be the pop we expected.
No, but also at the same time, for reasons, I think
it would have been a great pop.
It would have been,
but
in America,
with the show being in Saudi Arabia, I feel as if the pop would not have been there.
Nah.
As been watching other people talk about the Royal Rumble, and the point that I was about to get to is just the fact that I feel, our view of the Royal Rumble low key might have been skewed with rose-colored glasses.
I mean, I don't think so. I felt like the Royal Rumble, besides the women's match, the women's match was great. Like, the outcome is what we wanted. Do you not agree Liv winning was the right decision?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, I also feel with the women's Royal Rumble, I don't think there were too many wrong decisions to go with.
I mean, yeah. I mean, anybody could have won it and it'd been like, oh.
For the women's Royal Rumble, yeah. With the women's one, it'd be like, damn near anyone. There's some very there
because Rhea Ripley. I feel like people would have been like, "Come on, again."
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Not like as much as Roman, but like.
But to that point, there is a very small amount of female wrestlers who could have won that Royal Rumble, and we wouldn't have been hyped about.
Hell yeah.
Whereas with the men's Royal Rumble,
Valkyrie. Mm-hmm.
Well, she couldn't be in the Royal Rumble.
She was in there.
Stephanie?
Not Stephanie. Oh shoot! Damn. What's her name? Bailey's partner. Fuck, I can't think of her name. I want to say
Well,
Valkyria.
first off,
I know. My whole brain went to the whole fuck.
I mean, Valkyria is the because I now see the correlation.
Yeah, the two
between
V's.
the Valkyria and Valkyria.
Yeah.
But don't do that to her.
Right now is
She-
not the time. I need her to cook a little bit more. I'm not saying she's bad. I'm just saying she needs to cook a little bit more.
Sure, I guess, but at the same time, like, though she's not necessarily a great one to be like, oh, that it would have definitely been a surprise. If
It would have
someone
been
like
a
her won.
surprise, but I've been like,
But I don't think it's.
Huh?
I wouldn't say it would have been like a bad thing.
I'd have felt like that's a push that I don't think I would have expect.
It would have at least. I will agree that it would have been a questionable choice.
Yes. I'm not saying it would have been bad, but it'd been like, I want her to cook a little bit more.
It would have been a questionable choice, especially considering the fact that she's been like
on a losing streak with a
a losing streak, and she is lukewarm at best.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kind of thing.
She got to cook a little bit more.
But then when you flip to the guy's side, it's like there were fantastic options and ideas they could have went with.
Could you imagine Javon Evans?
That would have been fantastic. Granted, obviously they weren't going to let that boy get the title because he's, he with how young he is, he's got plenty of time. But like, as far as, now I will say this though, when it comes to the men's Royal Rumble, and the reasons why I feel as if like the whole like the rose-colored glasses proportion of it, which I mean I still don't think it was necessarily that bad, but man, the universe has royally been shitting on this Royal Rumble.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because I mean Roman, like you said, when the audience from the last episode, they were like, "Look, man, that's the safest option. It's not a fun option." But I mean, once I remember seeing somewhere where Roman said he wanted to be a part of Mania and he wanted a title match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, otherwise, I feel like if he would have did it at the Elimination Chamber, he would have got off a little bit better.
I agree.
Like it would have came off a little bit better.
It wouldn't have felt so corporate.
Yes,
which is
you want him to point,
which is I do believe the main issue with the Rumble, and then the proceedings of why this week of wrestling. And interestingly enough, throughout all of wrestling this week has just been largely boring as hell. I'm talking, there's no company that is safe from it. Like
AEW.
AEW is still
especially.
TNA. Now, I almost feel it's a little unfair for TNA because they're already like in the negative.
Oh no! We're gonna make it even worse. Did you just see their fucking card for is it No Surrender?
Yes.
Okay, bro. Why are you gonna put fucking Slater and Santana in a tag match with two people? It has no reason. Slater has not defended his title in almost a month now, and you put him in a tag when it means the heavyweight title is not even being defended on the show. So both of your two main titles are not being defended on the show, and then two, you got the Righteous and the Hardys going against the Order 4 when they're currently feuding with the system.
So that part is one of the reasons why I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. However, there is a small part of me that understands why this is happening, and it's because they're trying to get as many important people who have big names on this pay-per-view for people to watch it, because at the end of the day, TNA has no stars.
Well, let's say this, hold up. They're trying to make Moose a star again because he goes back and he destroys the system. Solo dolo.
But see, that's the key word. They're trying to make Moose a star again.
Okay.
He's not a star right now.
Okay.
Like, he is the potential star.
Yeah.
They just have to rebuild him. However, the problem is the fact that they don't have anything for him to scale up to. So a good example of scaling your wrestlers to superstars, right? I would say with SmackDown, right? SmackDown, we had the tag team champions going up against Julia and
James.
yes.
Is it Kalana?
No, that's that Kalani is a
I said
NXT.
Kalani. I said Kalana.
Well, that's still incorrect.
Yeah, it's still incorrect, but I just know it's James. Last name is James.
But so those two going up against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Now, prior to this point, like, yes, Julia's the United States champion, but nobody cares.
Yes.
However, they had that match with Rhea and all them, and this is right after see, I really need her name now, but not Julia, but her tag team partner.
Miss James. Let's just say Miss James.
So Miss James. But like she at the Royal Rumble, she showed out.
Yes. Which I think people were like really shocked behind.
Yes.
I remember at the show.
Yes. Like they're pushing Lash Legend, but she was the one who actually was like making some fucking moves in Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Type thing, right? So it's like we have her, and she has shown herself after showing herself in the Royal Rumble. The match that she had with these two, for all intents and purposes, especially with how hard they was fighting, it
low-key made her a little bit of a star.
If the tag team champions are the measuring stick,
yeah,
having them go against these absolute stars right here, it helped raise them up and made them a little bit more legitimate because of how good their match was.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And so it's like, even though they lost, they did not lose in a way where it made them look weak. It actually, now they kind of look like they could be a threat.
Okay, so you basically saying, hey, watch out for them potentially.
Correct. They've kind of put themselves in a better spot than where they was. Another example of that is kind of sort of with how I've said and how you can see them trying to use MJF on AEW. MJF is the star of AEW.
Yes.
Okay? And so how do you make more stars? You take your biggest star and let them rub off on the star you're trying to bring up to help legitimize them a bit.
So like the squash match with Brody King?
Yes. Granted, a horrible choice, way of doing it, but
I mean, but Brody King compared to somebody like MJF should be getting destroyed. Because, granted, MJF's a technical wrestler. He's a great wrestler. Mm-hmm. But Brody King is fucking Brody King. Brody King's supposed to be that monster.
Correct.
Destroying somebody like that.
Which I believe and would agree is true, kind of thing. However, I know for me personally, I was not mad at the squash match that happened. Like but in the way that it happened, because we got the visuals and all the stuff that happened at the end and whatnot, I feel as if that did help boost up Brody King a bit. Mm-hmm. Especially him being in the ring with who they're trying to make their main event scene with, seeing him standing next to an Andrade El Idolo and then your Hangman Adam Page and all this other stuff, right? Yeah. So it's like that visual is nice, seeing him with those guys kind of thing. However, I'm going to be real. I feel AEW, which is typical for them, they go about some of these things in just the wrong way. For one, this whole, what they call it in these eliminator matches,
for just like to get an opportunity. Oh yeah, like you have to go against a champ to get a championship match.
Correct.
I do feel that's a bit like, but like at the same time, low key New Japan's doing that shit with Jake Lee and Suji.
But they're doing it kind
And
of
preview matches.
Like it kind of actually not just now that you really kind of put it.
That's what I'm
no,
saying. It's like a
really,
preview match. Yeah.
It really is kind of like the same thing.
But normally one of them doesn't take the pin.
So I will say though, that kind of thing has kind of sort of always been a deal.
Yeah.
So like anytime you see where there's like a tag team match situation and one of the champions gets pinned by someone who is not the champion, that usually puts them in a good spot where they can be like, hey, I've pinned the champion before, so maybe
the number one contender.
But that's in those kind of matches, as opposed to John Moxley and his tweener group apparently right now going out there and he having a match with somebody just to see if they can beat him so that they can fight him again for the title. I'm just like, it's honestly, it's just lazy booking, which is what
rubber matches pretty much almost.
Barely.
Almost, yeah.
So let me put it to me, right? Before the way that you put together matches to see who's going to fight the champion is you get two guys who really want to fight up against the champion, two or more, at least two, because it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
So you have these two guys, and they go through a series or some matches to face each other, possibly creating a little bit of story, a little bit of background to kind of sort of help create things for possible future situations for them to fight to become a number one contender. And then that number one contender goes on to fight the champion while they're, and that helps create story. When you just have cold turkey, you versus whoever the heavyweight champion is, y'all ain't ever had a match. Y'all never spoke a word to each other, but y'all just have a match, and all of a sudden, oh, you beat him. Well, now you're the number one contender for the title.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, but what history do y'all have together? Y'all have never spoke, never been in a match with each other. When you stand in front of the camera like this, and it's like, all right, so how do you feel about your match coming up and da-da-da-da? What are you going to say? I'm really happy I got this match. I know I'm the best, and I'm here to fight the best, and I'm going to be the best. And by being the best, I'm gonna.
Unfortunately, I ain't gonna lie. Did you see that? I hate to caveat to this because it's one of those things about wrestling. I do think that sucks because when the promo you just said was what Yoto Tsuji did, and you saw that shit. You saw that shit. My man smiling like, oh, I like Jake. I feel like Jake shouldn't have went to the United Empire. He should have came to Unbound Company. It's just the fitting team for him. Bro, have you not seen how he's been kicking your ass and then treating you a certain way? And it says, hey, put the belt on the line. And he gets in your face and he says, I'll put the title on the line. He's aggressive and he's angry. Promo? I think Jake's a good guy. I miss this Jake. You know what I'm saying? He's a formidable foe. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then you see Jake's interview. I don't know if you saw that, but you see Jake's interview, and that was solid. That was a man who was coming back to say, hey, I went through hell from that injury. I don't want anybody else to experience that. And I feel like for what I am, I'm going to be the first Triple Crown, a Grand Slam champion of all three promotions of Japan. All Japan, Noah, and now New Japan. And he was talking about struggle. He gave not a Hangman Adam Page promo, but you can feel a smidgen of his pain. And Suji's, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? So we bring this to say, guys, wrestling fucking sucks right now. Okay, after the Royal Rumble, all across the board, there's some interesting things in WWE. I can't say about AEW.
It's mildly interesting.
And in
There's
TNA,
nothing interesting going on in AEW.
Nope.
TNA is trying very, very hard
To piss me off.
And I watched TNA, and it's one of those things where I feel like they're lost. They feel like they're lost in the sauce and they're trying to get their bearings straight on what it is that they want to do and what they want to be.
Feel is a strong word. Because if I don't recall, and speaking of TNA, when you get fired from Feast of Fire, you're gone. You don't keep hanging around and doing shit. Because how is Steve Macklin still around?
Because what's his name made it clear, like he let him come back to say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah,
that's the reason why he was there.
But here's the thing: he beats down Mike Santana, which on some G shit. If you let somebody beat your ass like that, and you not tell him to reinstate him, but we just go, he gonna get his ass beat. But then in the next week, he teaming up with Slater.
So
come on, man. Like,
there's a part of me that feels as if they're going, which is the bad storytelling right now, because that happens when Santana came out there. I 1000% expected him to say, reinstate him so that I can get my lick back and beat his ass. I'll put the title on the line.
That's some G shit
type situation. And that's what I expected.
Nope.
But instead, he kind of came out there and said a whole lot of nothing.
And you just got your ass kicked.
And then the match that you're talking about, like, this is the part where I'm just like, I feel like they're lost in the sauce and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And they're in a weird position where it's like, all right, we got to like do stuff to make sure people at least watch. And it's like, with the stuff that they're doing to me is like very sporadically being done, because it's like, there's number one, the youngest in charge has not been on TV
in almost a month
since the start of this promotion on TV. Okay,
which was that's a month.
Has it been a month? Yeah,
January.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the fact that we're like
in February.
We're like 7 days down in
on Black History Month, and he getting treated like this.
I mean, I guess
you know.
I'm
just saying.
He almost doesn't count though, because he's like European black. And so
no. Respecting Slater, respecting as a bruv, as whatever.
But my thing is though, is the fact that like he has not been there. Why is this match happening? Because when you look at the match, it's the champion versus somebody who has a chance to fight the champion if they train their title. And the two people that he's going against, one of them has the briefcase to challenge the champion for the title. And who is his other partner? The other person he's supposed to be fighting? It's I thought
it's not the Nemeth brothers. No,
it's not Nick Nemeth, is it?
No, I don't think so. No, because he's still dealing with the same situation with Homegirl, and she's still super kicking him.
No. That's the brother,
Mike Nemeth. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. Which
Nick.
That was a bad segment. I ain't going to front with you. That shit was not just it was a very corny segment that they had.
Yes.
Where it was almost cringe, because they're doing this whole like he's doing this whole I'm better than you shit, and so they're like doing sports things and playing horse, and it just
kind of, he wants to be Mr. Perfect, but he's not.
No, I mean, well,
because remember Mr. Perfect used to do stuff like that with the vignettes.
Yes, kind of. But he wasn't. Did he do that like up against other people?
No. So technically, somebody said it otherwise. It was like the Matt Hardy and MVP segments back in the day.
Okay. Oh yeah, when they tried they played basketball against each other. They raced each other.
Yeah.
Which is yes, but they just made it very. It was very dry with bad acting, and it's not the Nemeth brother who was doing the bad acting, in my personal opinion. Like, what used to be Jakara Jackson, like, she was dry as fuck, bro. I'm not even gonna front with you, bro. I was like, she's like it felt like she was reading cue cards, and just like reading and going through her lines very unenthusiastically, like she doesn't want to do this, while the other Nemeth brothers looking like a complete and utter idiot. As much as he wants, as much as he's trying. So it's like that. It was not successful.
But going back to the title match itself, though, with the Slater and Santana, and honestly, it doesn't even matter. Like, I'm not saying nothing against the opponents. It really does not matter who the opponents are. It's the fact that your next pay-per-view does not contain title matches of your X Division and your World Heavyweight title. That is why we're coming to the show. We want to see title matches. Technically, I don't even think there's a title match besides the women's title.
You're probably right. What's the name of the paper?
No Surrender.
No Surrender. Let's get that information. No Surrender.
Man, honestly, why hasn't Slater used option C yet?
Okay. So that is so I was right. So the match, it's pretty much, which to me I'm like
Eddie Edwards, yeah.
But so the match is, and Nick Nemeth is in this match.
Okay.
So it's literally the heavyweight champion teaming up with someone who can cash in their title to fight him for the belt. Nick Nemeth, who has the trophy.
Yes.
The
Call
trophy,
your shot.
the trophy in the bank, call your shot chance of fighting the champion for the title. And then Eddie Edwards, who has a briefcase
for a title shot.
For a title shot.
That's literally 3 ways you can lose this belt that night.
So, yes. And there's a part of me that I'm like, I understand.
It is a bit exciting now when you bring that, because you're like, which one of the 3 are just gonna say option C, but call your shot or briefcase?
Which the idea behind the match is cool, right? Because him having to be in this match with all of these people who could potentially just gun for his title right then and there. The problem is, there has not been any kind of build towards this match to help. Because as of right now, with the way it's been presented, it's like an AEW match where someone just put a bunch of people in a match to fight each other.
I mean, that's New Japan too, but
that in itself is the problem.
You're right.
Sure, New Japan does that. However, New Japan can get away with that kind of thing because Japanese wrestling is produced and delivered in a very different way, in a different light than what American wrestling is.
Okay.
And it's like that whole idea of like, when you have been presented, or it's almost like as if like, it's like how a habit happens, right? Whenever a habit starts, you're constantly doing it, and it becomes that routine for you. Things feel weird and things get different when you try to break that habit, kind of thing, or when you like break that chain of doing something all the time. That would be like if I'm trying to think of something clean that you do here. That's
like in general.
Yes.
Okay, I'm currently fasting.
All right. So if you are currently, I would say, so before you were fasting, you was eating normal, but then all of a sudden you're breaking that chain of doing normal, and now you're going to fasting. And so it's an adjustment. And sometimes people can't make that adjustment, or when you make that adjustment, now it's going to be hard to go back to how you used to do things before, type thing. With New Japan or Japanese wrestling, it has been presented in this particular way for decades.
Yeah.
All right. Then you go and look at, we can
AEW.
specifically say just TNA. We've watched TNA for decades.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's technically would be
decade.
just a decade. So it's like
decade and a half.
So it's like we have a decade of TNA. We have a decade of TNA in the past giving us stories leading into matches with cool big finishes. for them to all of a sudden start trying to do New Japan shit, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, we did say that Tony Khan is the biggest New Japan mark, and he likes making his promotion an American New Japan.
But so with Tony Khan, the situation that he has is the fact that sure, he is a big New Japan mark. If he wanted to make New Japan in America, what he should have done is just made New Japan in America. If he just wanted to put matches together and make people fight and make things happen in the ring, sure. But instead, he decided to do Western wrestling, which we all know what Western wrestling is.
Storylines, backstage segments, the kicking,
Shenanigans, blah, 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 all of those type of things. That is Western wrestling, and that is what Western people want to see on their TV and what entertains them to the maximum.
No.
Great wrestling will entertain. This week is a very prime example of that, because there has been some really great wrestling, and it will entertain to a point.
We could also talk about, like, one thing that was very entertaining is Cody. Cody saying, yo, I didn't get the nickname Raheem for no reason. Because if this is going to be a measuring contest, I didn't get the name Raheem for no reason. I'm like, bro. And then the WWE actually took a moment and said, yo, Cody's been listening to the memes.
I mean, it'd be impossible for him to not.
But it's the way that WWE put it in. It's literally the description of one of their videos. Cody's listening to the memes. And it's that moment. I'm like,
I did not see that, but I'm like,
you didn't see that segment?
No.
Oh, that video. Oh, I'll show it to you.
I'm talking about the hook. Cody's been listening to.
I'll show it to you.
So I hate it when things like that happen, because it's like, wow, way to kill the fucking joke, right?
Yep.
Like, way to kill the joke. Because it's like we get those who get it, they get it. You don't need to spell it out for us. Now you've just kind of sort of like, now it's not cool anymore. Like WWE's,
well, I mean, when he says it, it's cool.
Yes, no, it's cool. But
when WWE did
but
that,
for them to have to, that's like me saying a joke. Like, that's me saying, like, why chicken cross the road to get to the other side, and then when we posted this, all like, he made it to the other side? Like, stop it. No. Like, shut up. You're ruining the joke now. Now it's not cool anymore. No. Now we gotta change him to the DeMarcus. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't be Raheem no more, because now you made it uncool.
Something Cody Rhodes.
Like, but no. I mean, that was great. And that was a fantastic promo. One of the nice, exciting things about SmackDown. But everything else on SmackDown, I'm sorry. The things that were exciting about SmackDown. Cody Raheem Rhodes.
Kit Wilson getting squashed by Femi.
No.
What?
Bro. Don't even. Fine. We will get started on Femi.
No. Okay. Go ahead.
We will get started on Femi.
Go ahead. I want to hear this.
Listen, bro. All right. Obviously, the WWE Universe knows who the fuck Femi is.
Apparently, from WWE standpoint, they don't.
And because of that, him going around doing these squash matches are absolutely stupid.
I mean, that is correct. Him squashing the War Raiders was uncalled for.
Him squishing, period, right now is uncalled. We don't need we do not need Ryback squash matches for another 2 weeks. All right? We need him to get into the ring and start a fucking something with someone, because they're bringing stupid about this push with him. Like, we know who the fuck this nigga is. He is Femi, the ruler, 2-time NXT champion, one of the strongest North American champion carriers. He did what Asuka did and said, you know what? I don't want to play with this anymore. Y'all can have fun with that, because y'all ain't shit. I'm going to go to where the big boys are, and I'm going to fight there. We've done that. We've promoted him. We saw what he did in the Royal Rumble. You know what we need to be doing? Instead of him pitter-pattering with these fucking toxic whatever and goddamn beating up a very credible tag team, jobbing them the fuck out in a division where the tag team men's
It's already
division
shit,
is
yeah.
absolute garbaggio.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, get your money's worth of Brock Lesnar and let's revisit that shit. Because that's what we should be
Well, that's
doing.
the thing, man.
Or put him in the goddamn elimination chamber and have him beat some motherfuckers.
But here's the thing. The reason why I feel like they're doing that is so that way, okay, it would make sense if he goes in the chamber and starts squashing motherfuckers.
No, that's not.
That's why I feel like that's what they're thinking. I don't believe it.
That's
I'm just
not.
saying that's what I think they're thinking.
I hope that's not what they're thinking, because as of right now, I don't even think he's going to be in the elimination chamber. They're not going to put him in there. What would be great?
Well, no. If they do, kind of pull maybe a similar situation with Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair, but instead was Oba's coming to the ring, Brock attacks.
But why would that make sense? Brock Lesnar eliminated him. Why the fuck does Brock Lesnar care? Why does he care?
That's the thing. That's the narrative. They want to make that mania.
But
what other way would you? What other way? WWE's trying to push this narrative. What other way?
There is no other way, and that's why they're shitting on themselves right now. There is no
okay.
Oba Femi getting eliminated by Brock Lesnar. Now, what would make sense is Brock Lesnar gets the elimination chamber, and then Oba Femi jumps him. All right, sure, but the elimination chamber is like what, in 3 weeks from now or something like that. And so you're telling me
he's not even in the qualifier match.
So that means you're telling me Oba Femi just sat here, walked around squishing people for no fucking reason, just to let that elimination by Brock Lesnar simmer for Brock Lesnar to go into the elimination chamber and then jump him? How stupid is that?
It is very stupid, but WWE also is fumbling the bag on what to do with him. They don't know what to do with him.
You're correct. They don't.
They don't know what to do with him.
It's very stupid, and anything outside of that is going to continue to be stupid. Because you know what happens when you try to Ryback somebody, right? It makes
I like how this is a turn.
Well, because Ryback was the one who they did it with the worst.
I know what I'm saying. It's funny.
Because if I don't say Ryback, then it'd be the Braun Strowman effect. But Braun Strowman only got Braun Strowman because Ryback paved the way for that to happen.
I mean, at least Braun Strowman got the heavyweight title.
Which is true. And
Ryback.
Out of these times where they'll have this big bad dude just fucking demonstrating people and everything like this, you know, because what happens is when you do what you're doing with Oba Femi, right? And you have him beat people, two big motherfuckers like the War Raiders, two big motherfuckers who should give Oba Femi a fucking challenge. When he dog walks two big men that almost equals 1,000 pounds of force, and this one man bodies that. When he loses to Sami Zayn later on down the line, he becomes uncredible. When he gets put down by Seth Rollins, he becomes uncredible. When Randy Orton, if a Randy Orton beats him, that's going to tarnish his image. The only thing that is going to fix that type of situation is if he goes up against another big ass motherfucker. And there's not a lot of those.
Not in WWE.
Like right now, Oba Femi's a big dude, right?
Yep.
Who's another big dude right now?
Bronson Reed.
Okay. So with a Bronson Reed, sure. Now, grant, Oba Femi also has not picked which show he's going to be on. Yeah. But it's like, but even with the Bronson Reed, because Bronson Reed, he's big, but he's not tall. So it's like,
we don't got a lot of tall, big motherfuckers no more.
Correct. And so it's like, when you look at, like with Braun Strowman, with the route that he ended up taking on his rise, he ended up, once they got done having him squash all these people, he went up against Roman Reigns, who was the champion type thing. And that makes sense. And that's how you should do it. Roman Reigns, he's not a small guy. You know, he is a big, stronger looking dude. And that is a good way to go with it. But right now, when you look at the landscape, number one, unfortunate for Obafemi, the top is too cluttered with all of the people who are currently making TKO all of their dollars.
Yes.
And so it's like, with him, where he needs to go is directly to the main event and be fighting for a world heavyweight title. But if he goes around and does all this squashing just to get the United States title, the IC title, two very dead, no one gives a fuck about belts.
But here's the thing with that too. I feel like if you put him in that position, he can never go down the card after that point. Like the way they are shooting him out there into the public, like beating up the War Raiders and stuff like that. That means he cannot go for an IC title. He can never go for a US title. If he goes straight to the main event for the heavyweight title and say he wins, he's like Roman. You can't go for the IC belt now. He can't go for the US title belt now. The ruler is such an overwhelming presence in a title that you just can't see anything else but main event. And that is the unfortunate nature of Obafemi and also how they are currently booking him, because you're booking him in a way where he can't do anything lower.
Yes, yes, but no at the same time.
Okay.
I say yes, because I believe what you're saying is right, but the only reason why it would be possible to bump him down at a certain point is because the reason why it's possible to be able to bump him down and him not completely lose his credibility is because of the one thing that we're not getting any of right now, and that's story.
So you're saying that if he has no story, they will bump him down to IC?
No.
Oh, he would go for it because of a story situation.
Because of a story
Got
situation.
it.
And that's what is missing in this week of wrestling. When you look at everything that has happened in wrestling, what the thing that has made everything mad boring after the Royal Rumble, when you look at what has happened in the Royal Rumble and you think about the possible potential feuds, so-and-so eliminated this person, now they want to get their get back. Once upon a time, directly after the Royal Rumble, you had get back matches. Like Lash Legend versus who the fuck
actually, Lash Legend would probably be good against because there was something that happened at the her and James, didn't they have like an issue in the match? And Lash Legend was the one that eliminated her.
So I think so, but just to use that as an example, because Lash Legend did have a match and she lost that match because it was for the
elimination chamber qualifier, yeah.
But to set up some kind of story, right? Like, let's say that was the case. Mm-hmm. Usually after the Royal Rumble, there would be a match of some sort where it's those two are fighting each other because one eliminated the other one. And then after that match happens, something can be made from that. Or, there's some kind of
build of some sort.
There is some kind of build that can progress from that.
I mean, shit, look at fucking CM Punk and Drew. That literally was a match because Drew did the future shot DDT and hurt him. So CM Punk came back and said, hey, yo, you hurt me at the Rumble. I'm going to fuck you up. And that's how we got those amazing matches from the three of them.
Exactly. None of that has happened after this Rumble.
No, and that is dumb. Now, that is very dumb.
The closest to any of that we've gotten is specifically dealing with the heavyweight titles with Drew McIntyre, Cody, and Jacob. And then...
Which is crazy. He got jumped twice in the same night.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. And then the whole Roman Reigns and CM Punk thing, which...
That was a good promo.
I will say, the promo that those two had with each other made it where, man, I don't give a fuck about this match. I really hate that Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. However, they kind of was spitting, so I'm a little interested now.
The story of I'm not choosing you because of you having the best title, whatever. I'm choosing you because I hate you. And it was like, ooh, Lil Wayne, ooh.
Exactly. And so because there is that back story that has been being made throughout the years, because they've had intersecting storylines going on and all this other stuff, is solely what is going to make this match give a fuckable about kind of thing.
Give a fuckable is crazy.
However, it's kind of also crazy because like that's happening which is part of the reasons why I really hated the whole Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre thing.
Because it really just fucks him.
Because it's like, yes, and that's what they're doing to your boy Finn Balor.
Yes.
It's like Finn Balor out here attacked what's his name?
My boy?
Yeah.
Pin.
Remember y'all got
Nah.
Pin,
No.
The same birth month thing.
Get the fuck out of here with that
You
shit.
know,
Anyway, yeah, this little side conversation we had in the chat where it was like, I posted up on the screen where it was like, yo, birthday month, this is your tag team partner. And I got Finn Balor, okay? No. Now, granted, I did enjoy the fact that Finn Balor came back. I said Finn because that was the guy who used to win when he had the NXT theme song and everything. But this guy currently, I don't know what the hell. And then also, just because of the Roman situation, you've now pushed Finn Balor's story to the side.
Yeah, like
you literally
like
just
now
pushed
it's like
it.
So even if they do fight each other at like Elimination Chamber,
It's not.
no one cares.
He's not winning again.
It's not like we expect Finn Balor to win that match.
Now, granted, hear me out. The Demon at Mania, though.
The demon is dead, bro.
I know, but I'm just
The
saying.
demon is dead
I'm just
as
saying,
much
I'm
as
just
Kane's
saying,
as much as Kane is dead right now.
And I'm
It's not-
saying.
No, stop saying.
Okay, you want me to call him my boy? You want me to call him my boy? I need the demon back, okay? If the demon was at Mania, okay?
Boy, you better get used to your Finn Balor, brother.
I'm very used to it already.
You're gonna have to
And the internet's used to being Finn Balor too.
You're gonna have to just let that ride.
Well, how about this? We already kind of know what the main events matches of Mania are going to be. It's going to be Punk versus Roman. And I'm sorry, as much as I truly do believe it will be a triple threat for Drew's title with Cody and Fatu. Granted, we still got an Elimination Chamber, so we still have to see. But I truly feel like one of those two is winning. Because who else is going to win the Elimination Chamber? Think about it.
So who are you saying winning the Elimination Chamber?
Okay, here are the two possibilities, right? Two possibilities. It's going to be either Cody or Fatu. Because I do not see another match that happens at Mania besides that. Now, you could say Randy Orton. You could say he wins the Elimination Chamber. But the story between Drew and Orton? Then what happens to Cody and Fatu? Do they have a Mania match with? I guess.
There would have to be some real crazy buildup for not so much that there would have to be crazy buildup, but they would have to figure out a way to make that like, why should we care about that still by that time? Because
you got like almost 2 months.
Yes, we have. So, because as of right now, it's currently just established that, like, yes, Cody Rhodes and goddamn Jacob Fatu right now, they're only butting heads at each other just because the reasons why they're fighting each other is, it's for all intents and purposes, kind of minute, and it's almost like they're really fighting each other because they both want to get their hands on Drew McIntyre, but they keep getting in each other's way type situation. But, like, the only way we keep that feud happening going all the way into WrestleMania is that somehow Cody and Fatu get into the Elimination Chamber and somehow they both have to screw each other out of a chance of continuing on. And there has to be it directly has to be something that is where, like, you know, Fatu is like getting close to possibly winning, and like Cody Rhodes does something, and then Cody Rhodes also loses, and Fatu takes that shit personally, which could be done, but like it's really tough. It is really tough.
The whole situation is tough. But I will say what's really been tough is, man, it's just a weird week of wrestling. I know we've been talking about the WWW here all the time, but man, this week of wrestling just was not good. I mean, there was good moments, but like, again, from us, we've watched WWE for multiple years and know what a good night of Raw looks like, what a good night of SmackDown looks like. Hell, what a good night of TNA Impact looks like. Somewhat AEW, so a smidget because it's only been 5, but like,
but even in the 5 years, there is a very distinct period where AEW was must-watch TV,
especially during the Hangman and Swerve situation. Oh my God, I could not miss that.
AEW knew how to make story. They've had story. Now, it's weird because they went from having story but overbooking their matches with 1,000 false finishes and, tombstoning someone and they just jump back up. And then they grab the other person, they tombstone them, they jump back up. And then they just beat each other down. And then they hit a knee to the face and they finish the match. Like, they went through a horrible period of booking that kind of fucking content, and that began their downfall. But now they figured out how to not do that stupid indie shit, but in the process of stopping that and having actually relatively decent endings and finishes for matches that are not so extremely overbooked, in light of doing that, they completely forgot about story and making shit make sense. Like, sometimes I feel like I have to watch AEW and completely change my mental mindset. And even then, when I do, they still find ways to do questionable shit. Like, to this point, I have now just decided that, you know what? I'm just going to stop arguing it, and
Turn off your brain.
Death Riders are good guys.
Turn off your brain.
The Death Riders are good guys because they're going up against Don Callis' family. All right. And Don Callis' family, because I've always said this before, is the fact that if you want to turn a really bad guy into a babyface, you just need to make that bad guy face off against a worser guy. And Don Callis is the baddest and the worstest of the worst. So the Death Riders, who have done some extremely deplorable things that have not truly been answered to.
Wait, honestly, the stuff that Death Riders is way worse than the Don Callis family.
This is true, but people just hate Don Callis so much. He gets so much heat that apparently he makes the Death Riders look like good, upstanding citizens. So now we cheer the Death Riders. Sure. But then, in the same breath of that happening, we have Arena Shafir and fucking Wheeler Muta.
Oh, with the hair match?
Having this hair match as heels against Timeless Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy, the babyface of babyfaces.
Which we know they're going to lose.
We're booing them when they're fighting there, but in the same exact fucking night, we are cheering these same exact motherfuckers when they're fighting against the Don Callis family. It's so hard to make this make sense.
Yo, actually, that is crazy.
It's so hard to make this make sense. I didn't even think about
that shit. That is crazy. That is crazy.
While we got Gabe Kid out here dragging around Darby Allin
and stepping on him with the steps, by the way,
doing all of this shit,
cutting him in half.
Which even then, the whole Darby Allin thing is fucking stupid. So Darby Allin has been at the like knife to neck with the Death Riders, right? This whole time. Darby Allin, honest and truthfully, never actually legitimately gets his lick back on the Death Riders.
Nope.
They had that coffin match, he lost. Then the next time they have a match, he wins, but at what fucking cost? For him to turn around and be all like, wait, I still have to beat Pac. And then now that he's beaten Pac, which was like, meh, it was a who cares match. He beats Pac, and now Darby Allin's out here. I'm like, I've finally beaten the Death Riders. What did you accomplish in beating the Death Riders? What did that accomplish? Just a peace of mind, like, all right, I managed to beat every person in the Death Riders. Yay. Achievement unlocked. You've beaten everyone in the Death Riders. After losing to them several times, by the way. Had to lose to each of them several times, but he was able to beat them once. And now that he's beaten them once, he could go on with the rest of his life and act as if the Death Riders never existed.
You know, it's kind of almost similar to a kid that's like, yo, I'm gonna come here every day after I'm gonna get my lick back, and you do. And it's like, but we beat your ass every day. I don't care. I got my one lick.
Yes, it's like when you're playing a game and you
won 10 rounds.
You won 10 rounds, but he get that one win like, I'm the best. I beat your ass, bro. It's like, but I beat you just now. Well, let's run it back. Why should I? I've already beaten you. There's no reason to run it back anymore. I'm the victor. I got my W. I'm gonna go over here and go skating now. That's Darby Allin right now.
That's crazy.
Bro, it mind-numbing.
And it's more of the reasons why we say that today wrestling just fucking sucks, right? There's so much unpredictability. There's so much going on that you're just like, I mean, we're trying to enjoy it because we're watching wrestling for years. We're trying to enjoy it. But the stuff that's going on at WWE, AEW, TNA, I can't say too much about New Japan just yet, but like, it's a little bit weird. And to kind of close this, what are your overall thoughts, Swag? Just kind of close this and just put it to bed.
So to be full transparent, I feel there is wrestling every day of the week.
Yes.
Right? And it's like there used to be a time where I could watch wrestling, go to bed, wake up, and recite everything that happened on wrestling because of how exciting it was. And then now I'll go to bed and I wake up, and if I didn't take notes, there's a small chance that I'm not going to remember anything that happened on there besides maybe one or two things, and one of them being Stephanie Vaquer's delicious booty. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't forget that. And so it's one of those deals where it's like now, like in a week span of wrestling, on each show, it's getting to a point where there's just like onesie-twosie things that were actually entertaining. On SmackDown, it's a 3-hour show, and it feels like in each hour, there's like one thing that was cool. In 60 minutes, there was one thing that was actually worth talking about. In that first hour, it was Cody Raheem Rhodes. In that second hour, it was him in the United States title match.
Yes.
And in that last hour,
Fatu jumping, Drew.
and that's barely. No, in that last hour, crazily enough, in that last hour for me, it was Trick Williams and his lemon pepper steppers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, you know, I forgot about that segment. Yep, coming up to basically say, hey, yo, I'm going to get that belt.
I'm honestly really excited for more Trick Williams, and I'm currently happy with this trajectory they're doing for him.
I need him to just don't lose this stratosphere. Like, just everything about him. Like, WWE, just don't fumble this, please.
Fam,
do not fumble this.
If WWE fumbles this, it is entirely because WWE fumbled.
Yeah, this will be one of those, yes.
Trick Williams comes out to the ring. Now, Femi came over here. He literally dropped the belt, okay? But he's getting these squash matches.
Mm-hmm.
Trick Williams came over here after he lost the title and lost a chance at a title match. But he comes over here, and thank God they're all like, yeah, no, we're putting you in the ring with main eventers. And then you put him in the ring with main eventers, he gets the crowd reaction that he does. People are yelling, whoop that Trick, louder than you can feel the breeze
Louder than the
of
yeet.
people yeeting.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And so it's like, Trick Williams is a made man, and y'all could print money on him, but they're lazy and too safe. As one of my favorite streamers says, Paul Levesque lives on Sesame Street, and he's got Elmo and Big Bird and Oscar, Oscar out there writing the material for WWE right now.
Oh,
because
man.
it's so safe. No chances are being taken. While in AEW, they're taking a lot of chances that they don't need to be fucking taking. And then TNA is out here literally just trying to figure out how to be a fucking wrestling company at this point with a roster full of mid-carders. Like, it's rough out here. And we're just sitting here watching this like, man, I'm gonna go play Minecraft, dog.
Can you imagine having to deal with this in high school? Like, just going. I'm into a tap because, like, imagine growing up to that and back in the day. Oh my god, and having to go to school talk about wrestling the next day. Fuck no.
If we were in high school right now, and wrestling was the content as it was at this very moment, because when we were in high school, WWE they were on a hot streak, and then they got really, really cold. But when they got really, really cold, TNA showed up, and they were just doing banger after banger after banger situation type thing. Now, I will say, there was a little bit of a dark age period, because when, what was
we
it?
already know about the Hogan and Dixie
When the
Carter,
Hogan and all that shit happened, and then they started sucking, and WWE started sucking. However, if you were someone who was super into wrestling, while all that garbage was happening, New Japan was nuclear.
Yes, it was.
And so usually when there is a period when a company is fucking up, there's another company that is rising from the ashes, being the best in the world at what they do. But right now,
We don't know what that is.
if there is a company out there that is currently rising up from the ashes and putting on really great content, great matches, great stories, let us know in the comments,
Please.
because we want to watch.
Honestly, anytime you guys are in the comments, we definitely appreciate it. Whether if we're streaming on TikTok or anything of that nature, we definitely appreciate y'all. And honestly, we know a subsection of you guys have not subscribed. You're watching our videos but not subscribing. So please take that opportunity to tombstone the subscribe button. Choke slam the like button, because it helps the channel out so much and gets more people on us and the algorithm and stuff. But as always, when we are here, man, every week, we're coming with the fact that the ring is sacred, that the questions are real, but the destruction guaranteed. And it's your host who likes to post, the Masaku.
And it's your boy, Swag Switcher, in the building.
And wrestling fucking sucks right now. So until next time, hopefully it gets better. We'll see you soon.